had a consistent finishing move in Angel's Wings forever. I mean, I know I saw you do it at Taka Michinoku in WWF back in the day. Uh, what made you come up with that move, or what motivated you to, and when did you know this is the one?
Well, it's funny, man. The Angels Wings started out as a transition move for me to get into a submission move that I tried for a short period of time, and it didn't work out for me, or I didn't feel like it fit me. So I started doing Angels Wings to get into that move, and then once I dropped the move, I realized that that particular move was high impact enough, and I could get it on pretty much everybody I wrestled. That sort of became my go-to, and it's one of the things too that, along with the best moonsault ever, that I sort of I've gone back and forth where I made both of them strong enough where people believed either one of them could be the way that I finished the match.
You kind of got that with the Koji clutch too, where people see that and they're like, this guy might tap out. Has there been anybody that you've done that to and you're like, man, they took that well?
Yeah, there's a lot of guys, man. I've been very fortunate. Like I said, the Angels Wings, AJ was one of the guys that could take it great just because he committed to getting his legs up all the way in the air. I've had a lot of guys that have gone up super light for it and let me sort of turn them all the way around. I mean, part of the thing about Angels Wings is if I can get a guy up and spin him all the way around, it just adds to the dynamics of the move itself. So, but yeah, man, I mean, there's been plenty of guys like Jay Lethal, Jay Briscoe, all those guys have been great taking those particular moves.
That's a thing that I notice when people emulate the move. People don't always do the spin like you do it. And while it's impressive, you kind of when you watch them go up, you watch the opponent go up more than you watch the person doing the move. And with the spin, I think it really puts a highlight on the move. Whereas if you're just standing there and you're making sure the person gets vertical, it kind of takes away a little bit. Have there been any horror stories, like anybody you were like, maybe I won't try that with them again?
No, I've been really fortunate, man. There's really only been one time where I lost a guy in the middle of it. I don't even know how it happened. It just I remember I picked this guy up and somehow his arm came free from me and he just sort of spun around and landed on his shoulder a little bit. But yeah, I've been like most of the times I keep pretty firm control of the guy and haven't had anybody get hurt from that particular move. And that's, to me, that's a sign of a good move, is just the fact that you can do it with people and no one gets hurt from it and everybody sort of comes out of it unscathed.
You've had to take it yourself a couple times. I know that AJ did it to you. What was it like being on the receiving end of your signature finishing move?
Pretty surreal. It's one of those things where you take it and all of a sudden you realize, oh, that's what everybody goes through.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. I mean, I've been up in it a couple of times, and it's pretty devastating. It's rough, and it was rough on me, so I can imagine how rough it is on everybody.
Has there been anybody that you've seen that has emulated the move or does it that stands out? I know Mandy Rose uses a version of it on WWE SmackDown, but as I mentioned, she doesn't do the spin. Anybody that you've seen?
I know Tommaso Ciampa is sort of doing a version of it as well, and I don't think he does the spin either. Yeah, I mean, it's sort of one of those moves that everybody has, not everybody, but I mean, a good number of people have tried, and for some reason, no one's really done the spin like I have. I don't know what the mentality is, if they're trying to keep it different from me. You tell guys all the time you don't want to do other people's moves and make people think of other wrestlers while you're doing your stuff. So maybe that's what it is, that people are they want to emulate the move, but they don't want people to, think that they're taking directly from me or not. So who knows, man? I don't know.
In our interview, we had talked about that Joe and Styles match, and that move was also your undoing as you got pinned while you were holding on to the move. That has almost become a callback for you, because we see that here and there, and like I've noticed that you'll let go at the last second, like not happening again. have you ever? I don't know how to put this. Has there ever been a move that you look at and say, maybe I'll try that? Or are you so far in right now, you're like, Angel's Wings is mine. That's what I'm sticking with.
Yeah, I haven't. I mean, there's always tendencies to want to try different things, but at the same time, once you've established a move, as a performer, you sort of want to give the fans what they expect, but you want to give it to them at times that they don't expect, and that to me is the hallmark of a great wrestler are the guys that you've seen over and over and over, and you can almost tell when they're going to do their stuff, but the ability to sort of throw people off the scent and have them still be surprised by what you do in the ring when you do it. I think that to me is what constitutes just a great performer, someone that has the ability to sort of change their game around and keep people guessing when they're watching your matches.
I think a real nice indication is people call it the Angel's Wings. They don't call it a double underhook face buster. They don't call it anything else. They call it the Angel's Wings whenever they see it. If they see it in WWE for the first time, they're like, that's the Angel's Wings. I know that move. That's Christopher Daniels' move.